Welcome back, baseball fans. 4Friends1679 got the second of, I think, what will be 5 rips. Panini 1988 baseball stickers. We'll just get right into it. This is part 2, so if you enjoyed the last one, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, you know what? Like and subscribe anyway. Okay, what do we got? Cubs. Cubs logo. Carney Lansford. Alan Ashby. Gerald Perry. Matt Noakes. God, we thought this guy was going to be good. And Ernie Witt. On the other hand, here's a catcher we didn't quite appreciate him for how good he was. So let's see here. And then I know there was a Detroit guy, so I think this is my first Tiger player, so and of course he was like a one-season wonder. But Jude, if you're watching this, you'll get a Matt Noakes if I get another one. And we ended the last video. Oh, here we go. There's actually like a. Is it best to peel it down there? I don't know. We ended the last video on a pack where I had nothing but duplicates. I didn't get a single hit. So I'm glad we started off with mostly hits in this one, it looks like. Matt Noakes. All right. Ernie Witt, all-time Blue Jay, and very underrated catcher in the 80s. Kind of the third. I mean, Parrish and Fisk get all the attention in the 80s. And Witt is kind of like the number 3 guy for me for the whole decade. Doesn't quite work out that way with the formula. I was doing a 1980s All-Star team last night using more or less the method I use with my all-time teams, and I did not. Oh, that's crooked. That's okay. And I did not get Witt as my catcher. I actually got Gedman again, which Red Sox, so I'm happy about that, but whatever. Gerald Perry. Gerald Perry. No, down there. Okay. Gerald Perry. Thinking, see, the problem is I'm posting these a little bit apart. Somebody might say, hey, rip them all and then we can skip the installation if we don't want to see it and listen to hear you blather on about baseball for 20 minutes. Alan Ashby, there's a duplicate, so we'll put that over there. Oh, I skipped, here we're going to pass Chicago on the way back. I skipped Carney Lansford. Oh, we got the Cubs, so we got a logo. And then Oakland, Carney Lansford. Yeah, I don't think we're quite to the point where we start getting like every other pack is only like halfway duplicates or halfway hits. It's like it's the frustration of collecting baseball cards, right? Those first couple of packs, it's like, oh, everything you need and everything's good and everything's new, and then I swear to God, you could be 10 packs in. And that's it. I mean, just starting for the year, and it seems like you just start getting duplicate after duplicate. And that's, I guess, worse now the way they distribute cards these days. You know, they do it in Series 1, Series 2, and Update. And back then, back in the 80s, Junk Wax era, it was the whole set all at once. All right, so we got Cleveland Indians. Walt Terrell, another Tiger. That looks like the Molitor highlights card, 413. I think that's the Molitor highlight. I believe that's a double. Richard Dotson, pretty sure that's a duplicate. Pretty sure I have Mel Hall and Milt Thompson. So, well, let's see. Let's see what we got here. So, go back to Cleveland. Mel Hall, yep, I got Mel Hall, so I don't need that. Put that aside. Chicago, Richard Dotson. Yep, got Richard Dotson, so that's a couple of duplicates. Cleveland. I do not, however, have the team emblem. That one's not centered really great, but that's okay. Alright, there we go. I do like the foil stickers. Those look pretty cool. I like that was the gimmick with the early Upper Deck set, was that they did those team logo holograms. Those were really neat. I don't know. I have the first couple series of Upper Decks. I don't know how long after that they continue to do that. Walt Terrell I know I need because I barely had any Tigers. Matt Noakes was the first Tiger I got. So Walt Terrell. So good news for Jude if you want some Junk Wax Tiger stickers. I don't know. He's young. I don't know how. I don't recall how old he is exactly. I want to say 10. I could be wrong about that, so forgive me. But I don't even know if he knows the 88 Tigers. I knew when I was a kid in the 80s, I knew like the 67 Red Sox, 75 Red Sox, and I knew them through Sims, through Micro League Baseball and whatnot. 75 Red Sox were on Micro League Baseball, and I went to the library and got myself the baseball encyclopedia and looked up the 67 Red Sox and programmed them in. So I knew them through that. Yep, I got that Paul Molitor. That's a Hall of Famer though, so I'm gonna put Paul Molitor over here. Save that. I'm saving Red Sox and Hall of Famers. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. It's my Red Sox. You don't care about Red Sox, but we'll keep that Paul Molitor view. This is the one from the last video that I couldn't figure out where it went, and I might have to look that up on. You know what? You don't need to see. I guess we're not going to see any of them. We're just going to put them up there in the margins and keep that where you can see it. Another pack. I'll have to go on Trading Card Database and see if that was like an uncorrected error or something. Ooh, maybe it's a corrected error and it's a really valuable one. Because I'm sure with Panini Stickers that will really matter. Okay. They also, I'm noticing these foil cards, so we got the Padres, are sticking to the insides of the packs. They put these on the end, it looks like. So we got the Padres. We got Keith Hernandez. I'm pretty sure I have, but we'll look. Tim Laudner. Orioles, one half of the scene. That's Nolan Ryan, and I think we're on the right page for him. Number 435. Oh, I got it. So, yeah, baseball, all-time strikeout king Nolan Ryan. Ties majors with 270 strikeouts. A record 11 seasons with at least 200 strikeouts. So we'll keep that Ryan highlights. Hit the boom there. Sorry about that. Oh, and I think we have our first Hall of Fame duplicate because I'm pretty sure we have Mike Schmidt. Let me just skip. I'm going to go look at the Padres first because I'm pretty sure. Wait, the Padres? Schmidt didn't play for the Padres. There we go, Mike Schmidt. So, first Hall of Fame sticker for real. We'll put that up there. Save that for the binder. I know I was close to the Padres. It was so close I thought Mike Schmidt played for him for a second there. Okay, San Diego Padres. We got the logo, so we'll put that in. Yeah, it's funny because like my dad, of course, was nostalgic for the. He liked the. If you saw the short with the present, he liked that. By the way, the World Series programs. He was nostalgic for the '60s and '70s. I was nostalgic for the '80s and the '90s to a lesser extent. But the '80s, really, to me, that's the best baseball. Come on, guys, just stealing bases on every pitch. It was glorious. Two guys in the decade with 300 stolen base seasons. You'll never see that again. Minnesota, Tim Laudner. Good, I need him. Laudner, over here. All right. As I get better at peeling these, the videos will get shorter. But yeah, I am really a nut for 1980s baseball just because that's what I grew up with. That's what got me into the game, starting in '86. But like those, you collect baseball cards and you learn through that. I'm not still on a Red Sox. That was an Oriole, number 11. Kind of looks like Ripken. So it's a little scene up at the top there. So I'll put that up there. And you know, you buy when I was buying vintage cards in the '80s. That basically meant I could find back through about '79 and the occasional '78 for pretty reasonable prices for what as a kid. If I paid more than $3 for a single card, it had better be a rookie that I want. Nowadays I'll drop money on a card that I want. Keith Hernandez, that's duplicate. But back then, yeah. So I could get, I was buying 86s in packs, and I could get back through about setty-nine for reasonable money. And I had a few 78s. I didn't really have any 77s and further back that much when I was a kid. A couple oddballs, but that was about it. Houston Astros uniform card. A scene with an Expos catcher, 422. Hall of Fame All-Star, Ryan Sandberg and Mike Schmidt. So I'll probably put that with Mike Schmidt, and if I get another one, I'll put it with Sandberg. Glenn Hubbard, I think I had him back from '88. Larry Sheets and George Bell, all-time Blue Jay, George Bell. So let's go back to the Blue Jays. And Bell. Yes, I need Bell. Where's he go? George Bell, right there. God, that guy. It seemed when I my alarm clock that year was set to, basically I woke up to the sports report every morning. And I swear to God, waking up every morning in 1987, it sounded like every morning George Bell or Mark McGwire had hit a home run. And we were just wondering which one was going to be the one that would, reach 50 home runs for the first time since George Foster a decade earlier. So I said nobody hit 50 home runs in the 80s. Bell hit 47, McGwire hit 49, and Dale Murphy of the Braves hit 49 or 44. Dawson of the Cubs hit 47. So a couple guys came close, but nobody did it. Larry Sheets, and we thought Larry Sheets was going to be better than he was. He kind of fizzled out. Glenn Hubbard of the Braves, Atlanta Braves. Nope, I need Hubbard. I thought I had him. Hubbard, there we go. All right, there we go, Hubbard. Let's do the Astros because I'm going to pass them on the way there. So Astros uniform, got that. So it looks, I guess there's a foil sticker in every pack. So by the time I'm done, hopefully I'll have all the team logos and team uniform stickers done. I don't know. I got a couple duplicates of those so far. I really don't feel like I have enough of the book completed to be getting as many duplicates as I'm getting. 422. Oh, this might be. Oh, all right. The scene is completed, so you can see that's the first scene that's been completed. You can kind of see how that lines up there. So. Let's get that. So that was it's Will Clark swinging the bat, and who caught for the Expos in '87? I actually don't remember because it wasn't Gary Carter anymore, and it wasn't Nelson Santovenia yet, or maybe it was. That could be Santovenia. Okay, trying to make it line up with the sticker more than line up with the box. So there we go. There's the full scene there. I think that's the only page I've got the full scene. New pack. This run we do have a couple of Hall of Famers that I'm keeping, which is kind of cool. I don't really care. I mean, if it's a Hall of Famer, I don't really care as long as it's a regular issue. I'm not big on like throwback sets. Chicago White Sox. Yeah, they changed the hats, but they still had this logo. It just wasn't on the hat anymore. Mookie Wilson hit the ball under Buckner's legs. Spike Owen, I believe I have him, but maybe not. Sean Dunston. Teddy Aguirre, who I think threw a no-hitter. I believe that's what this is all about. And Chris James. So we'll work our way backwards here. Actually, let's go to the end because I feel like Higuera, 431. Oh, Juan Nieves. I'm sorry, it's not Higuera. That's Juan Nieves, and he threw the first no-hitter in Brewers history. Yeah, not Higuera. Juan Nieves. Juan Nieves. Nieves. It's an American way of pronouncing that name. Nieves. Juan Nieves. Yeah, that's right. First no-hitter. Yeah, the Brewers were good in '87. They, after '82, they just seemed to get worse every year as guys aged and got injured. And, I mean, every year, like another guy either was traded off or just fell off completely. Gorman Thomas in '83, Ogilvy in '83, Cooper in '84, Simmons in '84, Chris James, here we go. Fingers was injured in '83. It's funny because you look at the '86 Brewers, and they still have most of the '82 team in the lineup, but they were just no good anymore. And in '87, they kind of went through a bit of a youth movement. They had some guys come up. They still had Yount and Molitor. Yount and Molitor were the only guys left at that point from Sean Dunston, from Harvey's Wallbangers, and they actually were very competitive in '87. Finished in third, I think, in the league, and that was out of 7, not out of 5. So that was good. And the American League East as of '87 was still a mostly competitive division. It started to get weak after that. Oh, well, might as well keep going. Go around the horn. Chicago White Sox team emblem. Okay, need it. Good. All right, we're still getting hits. We're still getting mostly hits. It's just weird because this used to be what was on the hat was the guy swinging the bat. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It said Sox. That's right. It wasn't the guy swinging the bat. It was the word Sox was what was on the hat, and they changed it to the C, but they didn't change the emblem, the logo or whatever you want to call it. There we go. They had new uniforms that year. Didn't help. Boston, Spike Owen. Spike Owen. Where's yep, duplicate. Spike Owen. But it's Red Sox, so we'll save that one. And then later I'll go through my Red Sox binder and see what I need. And then I did have Mookie Wilson of the Mets. I should have caught him on the way down. New York Mets. Mookie Wilson, 348. There we go. I love how there's an arrow that says peel here, but I don't think like it's any easier to peel there than any other part of the card. So Mookie Wilson. I never really, I hated the 86 Mets, but Wilson was one of those guys, even though he had the ball under Buckner's legs, I never really, hated him. He was a hard guy to hate. He's got that big smile. He was one of those guys that always looked like he was having fun, playing the game. Those are the guys I like. Not necessarily the fierce competitors or the hustlers or even the superstars, but the guys like Mookie Wilson and Kirby Puckett who just looked like they were having fun. And I already know I got a duplicate Mets logo because there it is, same page. I'll put that over there. We've got Terry Kennedy and Don Mattingly. I know I had that one in the first video. Jody Davis, Fred Manrique, Darrell Evans. We talked about his home run in the previous video, his 400th home run, which was the following season. So, but that was on his highlights card. I got that one now. And Robbie Thompson of the Giants. So let's see, Giants. Robbie Thompson, duplicate. Okay. Chicago Cubs, we'll catch on the way down here. Chicago Cubs. Whoops, went too far. Chicago Cubs, Jody Davis, duplicate. Okay. I know I need Darrell Evans. We talked about how I didn't really have any Detroit Tigers. So by the time this is done, I don't know how many my friend Jude is going to get. I don't think he'll care. They're old junk wax, old man stickers. So who knows if he'll even like them or not. But he'll take them and he'll be polite. I know that. He's a good kid. Darrell Evans. And his moms were Tiger fans, so they remember these guys. All right. Chicago White Sox. Fred Manrique. That's a name I don't even really know. I mean, I can usually, any 80s player, I could usually tell you something about him. And this is not one of those guys. Fred Manrique. Here we go. Fred Manrique. Okay, new pack. Oops. I have a light. I got to do something with the light. We're gonna do something about that. I got a light right above me, so you're getting a lot of glare. I apologize. I'm new to the rip thing. I don't know if I'll do these anymore. We'll see. I mean, if I get an old pack, I'll open it for you guys. I don't usually collect that way. That's the only thing. Hey, I got the Yankees team jerseys. The Will Clark, we know I have that because that was part of that scene we completed. He's not a Hall of Famer, so I'll put him over there. Got All-Stars. That looks like Gary Carter and Jack Clark. All-Star. Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer. Brett Butler, and Mike Lacoste. Okay. Brett Butler we're going to be close to. I went the wrong direction, though. There we go. Brett Butler. There we go. Okay, Brett Butler. Paul Molitor. M comes before N, so Milwaukee. Paul Molitor. We got. I think in the last video, I think you all saw, if you watched it, I think at one point I said no Hall of Famers yet, and I'd completely forgotten about poor Robin Yount down here. I did correct that error. Paul Molitor, the big 39 game hitting streak. We talked about that with the when I put the highlight card in. Minnesota, New York. Okay, need the team uniform. Okay. I mean, this is actually, I'm having fun. I don't know if you guys are having fun. I don't know if anybody's still watching, but I'm having fun. And that's what it's really all about. Best advice I ever got. I don't collect as an investment, and I mean, you can do it. You can make that work if you're disciplined and if you're savvy and if you don't. I mean, a lot of different ways you can do it, I guess. I never did. I did that as a kid, And at one point I got some advice from a dealer, so you know he was biased. Where we got here? Gary Carter and Jack Clark. Yes, I was right. And he basically said, look, you can make money or not make money. It doesn't really matter. He said, just collect what you like, because then it doesn't even matter. I spent 30 Canadian on this. Now, I mean, I could go to Canada and spend 30 Canadian in a bar and have a drink and be done. Now, am I having at least as much fun as I would have from getting a couple of drinks in Windsor here? Yeah, I am. So it's worth it, even though, no, this book is not going to be worth anything. These stickers aren't going to be worth anything. You know, it's not, it doesn't always have to be about that. And that, I think, is what's fun about junk wax, because nobody collects junk wax for money, obviously. That's why they call it junk. But Michael Koss. But you do it for fun and nostalgia. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm remembering the 87 season, which is a season that I followed day by day throughout the, missed a month of it in the summer. Don't need to get into that, but I followed it pretty closely, just like 86. Philadelphia Phillies, we got Bob Welch. Frank White, all-time Royal. Fred Manrique, I think I just said I don't know anything about Fred Manrique, so that's a duplicate. Brooke Jacoby and Mike Dunn. This guy, Brooke Jacoby. Now, I remember I said that the Cleveland had a bad season, so we didn't really... Hang on, I'll get back to Cleveland in a second. So we didn't really follow Cleveland very closely. After the first month or two, they fell out of contention, and I was in the New York market at the time, southwestern Connecticut, and following the Red Sox. So I didn't really care about the Indians. And when the cards came out, we got them, and we looked on the back, and Brooke Jacoby hit 36 home runs that year. I think he never hit more than 20. I think his career high, maybe he hit 20, maybe he hit 18. But and that was when I think we realized, we looked at each other, we said, how the hell did Brooke Jacoby, oh, that doesn't go here, that goes at the end. How the hell did Brooke Jacoby hit 36 home runs? Like, we didn't even hear about it. And I think that was the moment that we realized, oh, this was a bit of a live ball year. That was the year Wade Boggs hit 24 home runs. I mean, a guy whose career high to that point was 8, and who never hit that anywhere near that. I mean, this is starting to fall out, so I got to be careful. Now, this did not. Oh, this one came out okay. I was going to say the Brewers one did. Was it V? V down here. V. If it falls out, I will use it. Yeah, you can't restaple it. I'll have to be careful about that. Got all the team stats here, so that's pretty cool. I like that too, because if you didn't have all the cards yet of the set, you needed to know. Back then, and one of the other reasons I mentioned that I played Micro League Baseball, you could put Bob Welch. There we go. You could put the teams in there, and that's what we used baseball cards for, was you could program the stats. And there was no internet at the time. There was no baseball reference, no baseball almanac, no fan graphs, none of that. No MLB.com. And, the newspapers only had this season as it progressed. There we go, Bob Welch. So baseball cards were how we knew kind of, well, how guys did. That was our reference point. And that's what we loved about them. Kansas City. Frank White. I got the two best Royals right there. Frank White and George Brett. So anything that had a collection of stats on it was always good to get your hands on, because you didn't necessarily have, every player. I didn't have every complete set of the 80s. Brooke Jacoby. Yeah, when Jacoby hits 36 home runs, Boggs hits 24 home runs, Andre Dawson hitting 49. I mean, that was when you realize, there's something in the water. And it turned out, yeah, they were juicing the ball that year, and they brought it back in the 90s. They did. Look it up. All right, 2 more packs. What do we got? I don't know that I've ever seen anybody actually do this. So as tedious as this might be for some people, St. Louis, I know I need that. Frank Tanana, good Tiger. Whoop, Frank Tanana. I'm pretty sure I have Alan Ashby. I'm pretty sure I have Ed Whitson, but we'll look. Tommy Hinzo, I believe that was a rookie who didn't pan out. And Larry Parrish. All right, we're on the page for the Indians. So Tommy Henzo, what did he do that year? Tommy Henzo, he had 257 at-bats. Okay, so he played a bit. 265 hitter, 3 homers, 9 stolen bases. He's another guy that I couldn't tell you anything about, so I don't think he amounted to much after this season. Tommy Henzo, there you go. Tommy Henzo. Texas Rangers. Larry Parrish, got him. Larry Parrish. Okay, duplicates. Yeah, when I'm done, I think in the last video, I'm gonna add them up and figure out what percentage duplicates I actually got out of the 300 stickers I will have opened by then. Frank Tanana, need it. I need Tiger. Well, I'm getting, actually, Tigers are starting to get filled in. So, you know, I might have a few duplicates at the end of the day. We'll see. Frank Tanana. Hard throwing lefty who got hurt and reinvented himself as a junk baller. X, St. Louis. X, St. Louis. There we go, St. Louis. Okay. Trying not to make that any worse. Let's go to the end and put the banner in place. It was X. So St. Louis. St. Louis, okay. Okay, and these two, Ed Whitson and Alan Ashby, I'm pretty sure I have. Whitson, yep, got him. And Ashby was with Houston. Yep, it's the only Astro I have, and I get him again. Final pack for this one, guys. Let's see here. I'll try to keep this under 30 minutes. All right, let's see. Well, actually, I ripped that one a little bit. I ripped it, and I need it. These really are hard to get out. Twins, but it looks like I tore it, so I might wait and see if I can get another one of those, because I actually tore it opening the pack. Dave Stewart, first of 4 straight 21 seasons. Brett Saberhagen, Cy Young Award winner. Glenn Braggs, one half of a scene, number 107. And Ed Correa. All right, let's see what we got here. Number 107. I don't know what team that would be. So let's see what we got. We got All-American League, so we're going back through this. Okay, Cleveland, Kansas City, Brett Saberhagen. Needham, Saberhagen. Oakland, no, Milwaukee, Glenn Braggs. Got him. Duplicate. That's why the video is going to get shorter, because I'm going to get fewer hits. Although I gotta hang on. Let's figure out what 107 goes to, because I don't think. Oh, it's part of the Royals, so it's probably Saberhagen pitching. There's not even enough of the guy showing. I don't know if he's a lefty or a righty, but Saberhagen had a good year. That was not I think I said Cy Young winner earlier. Not in '87, though. He was an All-Star, I think, in '87. He had a good year that year. So there we go. Put that there. 106, 107. Oakland. Dave Stewart up there. Man, now Dave Stewart was a guy I hated, because he always got, his record is something like 57-0 against Roger Clemens and the Red Sox. It wasn't that Clemens choked. That's the thing. You look at the one-loss record, you feel he choked. No, Stewart just owned the Red Sox. Ed Correa. Yeah. Clemens would consistently lose like 1-0, 2-1. He would get no run support against Stewart. He just owned those Red Sox in the late 1980s. And it's no surprise that they swept us in '88 and in '90 in the ALCS. And it seemed like every time they faced, Clemens lost because Stewart just threw a shutout or something. And I hated that guy. I mean, you respect him, of course, but hated him. All right, that is it for now. I'm actually, there is the Twins one, but you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I tore it a little bit opening it. So I'm going to hold off on that. We'll come back to that. Thanks for joining me. And I will see you next time.